Hello all. Welcome to the Learning Management System, an initiative by Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. Course is Fundamentals of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. And the course outcome is identify and test the different electronic devices. Unit number 5, Introduction to Electronic Devices and Digital Electronics. Session number 21. Overview of contents. Transistor, that is bipolar junction transistor symbol, bipolar junction transistor structure, and the bipolar junction transistor working principle. These three topics I'll be discussing here. What is a transistor? It is a three-terminal semiconductor device consisting of two PN junctions, a P-type semiconductor and an N-type semiconductor. Together formed is called as a PN junction. So a transistor consists of two PN junctions. It has three terminals: emitter, base, and a collector. Emitter is denoted by a letter E. Base is denoted by a letter B. And a collector is denoted by a letter C. There are two types of transistors: NPN transistor and PNP transistor. A transistor BJT symbol. The arrow and the symbol for the bipolar transistors indicates the PN junction between the base and the emitter, and the points in the direction in which the conventional current travels. Conventional current is that of the opposite to the flow of electrons. So here the arrow mark, it indicates actually the conventional current. You can see in the picture, the first picture is a NPN transistor and the second one is a PNP transistor. A BJT consists of three differently doped semiconductor regions: the emitter region, the base region, and the collector region. The regions are P-type, N-type, and P-type in a P-type PNP transistor, and N-type, P-type, and N-type in an NPN transistor. That is, in a PNP transistor, a N-type semiconductor is sandwiched between two P-type semiconductors, and in an NPN transistor, a P-type semiconductor is sandwiched between two N-type semiconductors. So this is a difference between a PNP transistor and a NPN transistor. And in each semiconductor region is connected to a terminal appropriately labeled emitter, base, and collector. As I mentioned earlier, the base is physically located between the emitter and the collector. As you can see in the picture, emitter is the first part, base comes between that of emitter and the collector is at the last. So the junction between emitter and base is called as emitter-base junction, and the junction between base and collector is called as collector-base junction. You can see the three terminals etched from three different regions. That is the emitter part, base part, and the collector part. And there will be a metal contact on the either side of the regions. That is on the emitter part and the collector part and on the base part for the biasing purpose. So what is biasing? Biasing means applying the external DC voltage for a transistor in order to turn it on. BJT has two PN junctions that must be correctly biased with an external DC voltage to operate properly. One of these junctions is called the base emitter junction, connecting the base and emitter regions, and the other one is the base collector junction, connecting the base and the collector regions. You can see the picture, the emitter base junction and the collector base junction. The BJT consists of back-to-back connection of two PN junction diodes. So it is a three-terminal device the transistor or a bipolar junction transistor, as the name indicates, it has bipolar means both the holes and the electrons act as a charge carriers here. Hence the name bipolar. Bipolar junction transistor. It consists of two PN junction diodes as shown in the figure. In the first figure, you can see a PNP transistor where it can be overviewed as a two PN junction diodes connected back to back, and NPN transistor. Here the direction will be just opposite to that of a PNP transistor. So it can be overviewed as a two PN junction diodes. Transistor working principle. When an NPN transistor biased in the active region, the base emitter junction is forward biased, whereas the collector base junction is reverse biased. The width of the depletion region of the base emitter junction is small as compared to that of a collector base junction. You can see in the picture, the working here, the majority charge carriers in the emitter will be, because it is of N-type semiconductor, it will be, majority will be electrons and minority will be holes. So this, when biased in the active region, usually the first junction, that is the base emitter junction, will be forward biased and the collector base junction is reverse biased. So this is the width of the depletion region of the base emitter junction will be very small as compared to that of a collector base junction. As the base is thin and lightly doped, it consists of very few holes. So some of the electrons from the emitter, is, say about 2%, recombine with the holes present in the base region, and this constitutes the base current. Current flows due to the recombination of electrons and holes. Here, note that the direction of conventional current will be opposite to that of flow of electrons, but usually we will indicate in the circuit the direction of conventional current itself. So what it means is the emitter current will be the sum of the collector current and the base current. In NPN transistor, the majority charge carriers are electrons. Only a small part current flows due to the majority carriers, and most of the current flows due to the minority charge carriers in a BJT. That is why the name, majority carriers and minority carriers. But don't forget that minority carriers are also a part of a current. In a PNP transistor, the majority charge carriers are holes. Unlike an NPN transistor, in a PNP transistor, majority charge carrier will be holes. Whereas in NPN transistor, majority charge carriers are electrons. When a PNP transistor is biased in the active region, that is the base junction is forward biased, whereas the collector base junction is reverse biased. When I say the active region, the first junction, usually the emitter base or the base emitter will be forward biased. And the second junction, there are three terminals. So possibly there can be only two junctions, base emitter junction and collector base junction. So the second junction, that is the collector base junction, will be reverse biased. So this is when the transistor is connected in such a manner, it is called as connected in active region. So you can see the flow of a direction of conventional current, and the flow of electrons will be exactly opposite to the direction of the flow conventional current. So the base emitter junction is forward biased. Positive is connected to P-type semiconductor, negative is connected to N-type semiconductor. So this is called as forward biasing. So when we consider base collector junction, P-type semiconductor is connected to the negative of a battery. N-type semiconductor, that is a base, is connected to the positive of a battery. So P-type to negative, N-type to positive. This is called as reverse biasing. Reverse biasing. P-type to positive, N-type to negative. This is called as forward biasing. So we should remember that the emitter base junction is forward biased. Collector base junction is reverse biased. The battery of the sign written on the batteries, you can clearly see here the positive and the negative in the batteries. BJT is a current controlled device. Here the collector current, which is the output current, it is controlled by the input current, which is nothing but the base current. Hence the BJT, the bipolar junction transistor, is a current control device. A signal of the small amplitude, if applied to the base, is available in the amplified form at the collector of the transistor. That is, even a small signal of a small amplitude, when it is applied to the input, it can be obtained at the output in the amplified form. So this is the amplification provided by the BJT. External source of DC power supply to carry out the amplification process. The involvement of both the carrier types, electron and holes, in the transistor operation is what gives the bipolar junction transistor its name. Bipolar, two poles, that is electrons and holes. Both of the carrier types takes a part in giving rise to the current flow here. In a PNP transistor, the majority carriers are holes. When a PNP transistor biased in action is reverse biased. The base emitter junction is forward biased, whereas the collector base junction is reverse biased. The pink shaded area at the bottom of the curve represents the cutoff region. See, this is the cutoff region. It has been clearly indicated by the arrow mark here. So transistor is fully off in this region. This is and area to the left represents the saturation region. This is the saturation region. So this is a graph of a plotted where we're taking collector current at the y-axis and collector emitter voltage at the x-axis. So when we consider the transistor characteristics, so this is the way we plot the transistor characteristics to study the transistor behavior in different modes. So this is the cutoff region, this shaded part at the bottom of this is the cutoff region, while the blue area to the left, it represents the saturation region of the transistor. Cutoff region. Here the operating conditions of the transistor are zero input base current, zero output collector current, and the maximum collector voltage, which results in a large depletion area and no current flowing through the device. Therefore, the transistor is fully switched off. Cutoff characteristics. The input and base will be grounded. The base emitter voltage, see, when I write VBE, it means base emitter voltage is less than 0.7 volts. When it is less than 0.7 volts, the transistor will not turn off. So that is why we said the transistor is in cutoff mode. So for the transistor to be turned on, the voltage should be greater than 0.7 volts. And the base emitter junction is reverse biased here. And the base collector junction is also reverse biased here. So when both are reverse biased, the transistor will never be turned on, and hence we say that transistor is fully off, that is in the cutoff region. So no collector current, no output current flows here. IC means collector current, I means the current, C means collector. So both combined together is called as collector current, which is nothing but the output current here will be zero. The output voltage, the collector emitter voltage, and the VCC supply will all be 1. Since the transistor is not turned on, the VCC, which is the input supply voltage given here, flows as it is to the output, and there is no mechanism happening here. The transistor is not acting as an inverter. So hence we call it as open switch. Now we define cutoff region or off mode when using a bipolar transistor as a switch as being both junctions reverse biased when VB is less than 0.7 volts and collector current is 0. For a PNP transistor, the emitter potential must be negative with respect to the base. For a PNP transistor, the emitter potential, so because you can see in the picture here, it acts as the VCC when given to the collector part, the V out, the VCC is when the VCC is high, it is almost obtained as in the same condition at the output voltage, because the transistor here is completely in off condition, and so it can be equated as a open switch. Open switch means there is no actions, there is no closed cycle happening there. So it's a completely like a open switch. It is behaving like a completely open switch. So the VCC can be just obtained as it is in the output voltage. So this is how the transistor is in the cutoff mode. Saturation characteristics. The input and base are connected to the VCC. the base voltage, emitter voltage will be greater than 0.7 volts. And the base emitter junction is forward biased. Base collector junction is also forward biased. Now the transistor is said to be fully on, that is in the saturation region, and the maximum collector current is given by equation VCC by RL, which is RL is a road resistance, IC is a collector current, and the VCE in the ideal saturation condition will be almost equal to 0. Collector emitter voltage will be 0. So hence the output voltage and the collector emitter voltage will be 0 here. Now here the transistor operates as a closed switch. That is, transistor has been turned on and it is operating like a closed switch. So saturation region or on mode, when using a bipolar transistor, it is acting considering as a switch, both junctions being forward biased, and the input voltage, that is a base emitter voltage, is greater than 0.7 volts, and collector current is also maximum. For a PNP transistor, the emitter potential must be positive with respect to the base. You can see in the picture here the VCC and the RL, but the output voltage is 0 volts, just because the transistor is turned on here. When V in, that is a VBE, is greater than 0.7 volts, the transistor will be turned on here. So when it is turned on, the ground voltage, that is a 0 volts, will flow through the transistor, and it is obtained in the output voltage as it is. So now the transistor has been turned on. Even though the input voltage is given and the transistor is turned on, the output voltage will be 0 volts. Here the transistor is acting as an inverter. So transistor can be considered as an electronic switch. Multiple choice questions. First question. The emitter of the transistor is, the emitter of a transistor is dash doped. The options given are lightly, heavily, moderately, none of the above. And the correct option is B, heavily. The emitter of the transistor is heavily doped. Doping means adding the impurities to a pure semiconductor. So when we add some impurities to pure semiconductor, just because to enhance the conductivity in the pure semiconductor. That is the reason why we perform doping. So here also we are performing doping. For the emitter part, it is heavily doped, and for the base it is different, and for the collector it is different. Second question. The collector of a transistor is dash doped, and the options are lightly, heavily, moderately, and none of the above. And the correct option is C, moderately. The collector part in a transistor, which is the third region in a transistor, is moderately doped. Not heavily, not too much lightly. It is moderately doped. Next question. A transistor has dash 1 PN junction, 2 PN junctions, 3 PN junctions, 4 PN junctions. And the correct option is B, 2 PN junctions. It is option B. A transistor has 2 PN junctions connected back to back. When transistors are used in digital circuits, they usually operate in the, and the options given are active region, breakdown region, saturation and cutoff regions, linear region. And the correct option is, it's solution C, that is saturation and cutoff regions. When transistors are used in digital circuits, they work as an electronic switch. So when transistor is in off condition, it is in cutoff region, and when transistor is in on region, on condition, it works in saturation region. So hence the option C is a correct answer here. Next question. In a transistor, collector current is controlled by, and the given options are base current, collector resistance, collector voltage, all of the above. And the correct option is, it is solution A, that is base current. The transistor collector current, that is the output current, is controlled by the input current. Which is the input current in the transistor? It is base current. The first region usually is emitter, the base comes in between that of emitter and collector. But based on the biasing, the base current will be input current and the collector current is usually the output current. So here the transistor is a current control device. The base current controls the output current. The base current controls the collector current. Hence the correct option is A, base current. See, next question. Total emitter current is given by dash and the options are IE minus IC, IC plus IE, IB minus IC, IB plus IC. IE means emitter current, IC means collector current, IB means base current. And the correct answer is its solution D. That is the option D. Base current plus collector current together gives you the emitter current. In a PNP transistor, the current carriers are acceptor ions, donor ions, free electrons, holes. And the correct option is, it is D. The current carriers, the majority current carriers, it means in a PNP transistor, because there are two P-type semiconductors, obviously the majority charge carriers will be holes. In a P-type semiconductor, the majority charge carriers are holes, and in N-type semiconductors, the majority charge carriers are electrons. So in a PNP transistor, an N-type semiconductor is sandwiched between two P-type semiconductors. Together gives rise to a PNP transistor. The majority carriers are holes. So correct option is D. Next question. In an NPN transistor, dash are the minority carriers. The options are free electrons, donor ions, holes, acceptor ions. And the correct option is holes, C. In an NPN transistor, dash are the minority carriers. If it was asked as majority carriers, then option A would have been the right answer. But they have asked the minority carriers. It means option C is the correct answer here, because NPN transistor, electrons are the majority charge carriers, holes are the minority charge carriers. Next question. When a silicon diode is forward biased, what is base emitter voltage for a CE configuration? Base emitter voltage is a input voltage for a silicon diode. Options are voltage divider bias, 0.4 volts, 0.7 volts, emitter voltage. And the correct option is solution C. That is option C, 0.7 volts. So for a silicon diode to be forward biased, that is for a transistor to be turned on, the base emitter voltage should be 0.7 volts. Next question. The base of a transistor is dash doped. First option is lightly, heavily, moderately, none of the above. And the correct option is, it's A. The base of a transistor is lightly doped. The emitter of a transistor is heavily doped. The collector of a transistor is moderately doped. Three regions, and the way they've been doped is different. Thank you.